The night the power went out, nobody panicked. That was the strange part. No screaming, no rushing, no candles being lit like in the movies. Just silence. The kind that sits heavy in your chest. I was standing in the hallway, one hand on the wall, counting my breaths like I used to do when I was a kid trying not to cry too loud. Outside, the wind was pushing hard against the house, like it was trying to get in. And inside, it already had. "Don't touch anything," my stepfather said from the kitchen. Calm voice. Always calm. Like nothing was ever really wrong. Like everything was always under control. I didn't answer. I didn't move. I just stood there barefoot on the cold floor, staring at the dark. That house, it used to feel different. Before him. Before everything got rearranged. My dad built that house with his own hands, not metaphorically, not he paid someone. No, he actually built it. Weekends, late nights, scraped knuckles, sawdust in his hair. He used to say, "A house ain't just walls, kid. It's memory. You treat it right, it treats you right." Back then, the place felt alive, warm, safe, like nothing bad could ever stick. But after he died, yeah, that changed real quick. My mom didn't fall apart the way people expected. She didn't cry in public or miss work or forget to cook dinner. She just got quiet. And then one day she brought him home. Mark. He didn't look like trouble. That's the thing people don't get. Guys like Mark, they don't show up loud. They don't break stuff or yell right away. Nah, they slide in smooth. Helpful. Polite. "Hey, kiddo," he said the first time we met, like he already knew me. I didn't like that. Not even a little. At first, it was small things. He fixed a cabinet door, replaced a light bulb, mowed the lawn without being asked. My mom smiled again. And yeah, I noticed that. I remember sitting at the table, watching her laugh at something he said and thinking, okay, maybe this is good. That thought didn't last long, because fixing things turned into changing things. The blue fence my dad painted, gone. White now. "Looks cleaner," Mark said. The photos in the hallway, one disappeared, then another, then another. No big announcement, no argument, just gone. Like my dad never existed. I asked my mom once, "Where'd the pictures go?" She didn't even look at me. "We're just updating things," she said. Updating. Like he was a software bug, like memories had an expiration date. That's when I started keeping stuff hidden. My dad's old watch, wrapped in a sock, shoved in the back of my drawer. A photo of us at the beach, inside a book nobody opened. I learned early, if it mattered to me, I had to protect it, because nobody else would. Mark never yelled. That's what messed me up the most. He didn't have to. He controlled everything without raising his voice. Who I talked to, where I went, when I came home, even how I spoke. "You don't need all those friends," he'd say casually. "They're distractions." And my mom, she stood right beside him. Every time. Like she was backing him up in a game I didn't even agree to play. "Mark just wants what's best," she'd say. Same line, every time. I stopped arguing. Not because I agreed, because it didn't matter. You ever feel like you're talking but nobody's actually hearing you? Yeah, that was my life. Years went by like that. Quiet control. Small losses. One piece at a time. Until one day, I realized something. There was almost nothing of my dad in that house. Except me. And even that, Mark was working on. I found the truth by accident. Funny how that works. Not some big reveal, not some dramatic moment, just a random Tuesday. I came home early from work. Place was empty. No TV, no footsteps, no Mark. That alone felt weird. The house felt lighter, like it could breathe again. I went into the back room, the one that used to be mine before Mark turned it into storage. Boxes stacked everywhere. Dust in the air. Smelled like something forgotten. I was just looking for old documents. That's it. Nothing dramatic. But then I saw a box. No lid. Just papers. And something told me, check it. I wish I hadn't, but I did. Inside were envelopes, official ones, insurance company logos, my dad's name. I sat down right there on the floor, opened one, then another, and that's when my stomach dropped. Life insurance, a policy in my name, money my dad left for me, a lot of money. And then I saw it. Withdrawals. Again, and again, and again. Total, over $80,000. Gone. I read it 3 times, maybe more. My hands started shaking, not from fear, from something else, something heavier, something colder. The signature? Mark's name. Authorization? My mom. That's when it hit me. They didn't forget to tell me. They chose not to. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just sat there, staring at the paper, like it might change if I looked long enough. It didn't. That night, we sat at dinner like everything was normal. Same table, same plates, same fake calm. I waited. Then I said it. I saw the insurance statements. Mark didn't flinch, didn't panic. He just put his fork down slow and looked at me. That money kept this house running, he said, like he was explaining the weather. It was mine, I said, for me. He leaned back. You lived here, didn't you? That's all he said. That's all it took. I looked at my mom. She didn't look at me. And in that moment, something inside me just clicked, like a switch flipping. I wasn't a kid anymore, and they weren't untouchable. Get out, Mark said, calmly, just like that, like he was asking me to take out the trash. I stood up, walked to the door, opened it, stepped outside, and behind me, click, lock. No hesitation, no second thought, just done. The wind hit me hard, cold, sharp, real. And for the first time in years, so was everything else. I stood there in the dark, thinking, this is it. This is who they are. And more importantly, this is who I'm not going to be anymore. I didn't go back. Not that night. Not ever. Because sometimes getting kicked out isn't the worst thing. Sometimes it's the moment you finally wake up. I stayed with a friend at first, then a small apartment. Nothing fancy, but it was mine, and that mattered more than anything. I got a lawyer, pulled records, dug into everything, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. Mark didn't just take money. He lied, forged things, tried to claim ownership of a house that was never his. Paperwork doesn't lie. People do. That's something I learned the hard way. The case took time. Of course it did. People like Mark don't let go easy. They twist things, make themselves the victim, play the whole "after everything I did for you" card. You know the type. But facts? Facts don't care about stories. And slowly, piece by piece, his versions started falling apart. My mom showed up once, sat across from me, tried to explain. "I had no choice," she said. Yeah, she did. She just didn't choose me. And that was the hardest truth to swallow. In the end, the court ruled what I already knew. The house was mine, always had been. The money? He had to pay it back. Every dollar. No shortcuts, no excuses. Mark didn't look at me when it was over. Didn't say anything. Just walked out like the world had finally caught up with him. My mom? She followed him. That was her choice. Again. I didn't stop her. I didn't ask her to stay. Because some people, they show you who they are over and over, and at some point, you gotta believe them. A few weeks later, I went back to the house. My house. The fence was still white. Mark's white. I bought paint. Blue. Same shade my dad picked. Started early in the morning. Brush in hand, sun coming up. And with every stroke, it felt like I was taking something back. Not just the house, not just the past, myself. A neighbor walked by and said, "Looks better already." I smiled. "Yeah," I said. "It does." Because it wasn't just paint. It was proof that no matter how much someone tries to erase you, you can come back. Stronger, clearer, real. That night, I sat on the porch. Quiet street, cool air. My dad's old watch in my hand. Still ticking, still working, after everything. And I realized something simple, but powerful. Some things, they don't break. They just wait. And when the time comes, they come back exactly the way they were meant to be. If this story hit you even a little, then you already know. Sometimes the hardest fight is for something that was yours all along.